Hey guys, I want to talk about the unsolved murder of Molly Bish. Molly Ann Bish was born on August 2nd, 1983, and disappeared and was murdered on June 27th, 2000. She was a 16-year-old girl from Worcester County, Massachusetts, who disappeared while working as a lifeguard in her hometown of Warren, Massachusetts. Her remains were found 3 years later in neighboring Hampton County, after what became the largest search in the state's history. Police believe Molly was the victim of a homicide, and several suspects have been publicly identified, but the case remains officially unresolved as of 2022. In the summer of 2000, 16-year-old Molly Bish began working as a lifeguard at Coleman's Pond in Warren, Massachusetts. On June 26, the day before her disappearance, her mother, Maggie, saw a mustached man in a white car parked in the lot of the beach where Molly's lifeguard post was located. Although he seemed suspicious at the time, she thought no further about him until after Molly's disappearance. On June 27th, Maggie drove her daughter to Coleman's Pond and dropped her off near the lifeguard station. Maggie reportedly saw no sign of the stranger from the previous day or his white sedan. However, another witness reported that he saw a man matching the stranger's description in the pond's parking lot just minutes before Molly arrived. A local worker also reported that he saw a similar car parked at a cemetery connected to the pond by a path. Maggie Bish was the last known person to see Molly before her disappearance. Several hours later, police contacted Molly Bish's parents, informing them that no lifeguard had been on duty all day and that Molly's belongings had been left unattended at her station. An extensive search was immediately launched. It was to become the largest and most expensive search for a missing person ever undertaken in Massachusetts. Her case was profiled on numerous American television shows including Disappeared, America's Most Wanted, Unsolved Mysteries, and 48 Hours. A hunter had seen a blue bathing suit in the woods on Whiskey Hill in Palmer in late fall 2002. In May 2003, he mentioned this to Tim McGuigan, who contacted police. An intense search of the area soon located Molly's body. On June 9, 2003, her body was found 5 miles from her family home. The cause of death was not determined, but investigators presume Molly was murdered and her remains buried. In 2005, a Connecticut resident charged with attempted kidnapping in Connecticut was briefly under investigation in connection with the case. In 2009, a new suspect was investigated, Rodney Stanger, a Florida resident convicted of murdering his girlfriend, had lived in Southbridge, Massachusetts, a few miles from the town of Warren for more than 20 years. Stanger moved to Florida a year after Molly's murder. Following the murder of Crystal Morrison, Stanger's girlfriend of 20 years, Morrison's sister alerted Massachusetts authorities. Stanger was known to have access to a white car similar to the one seen the day before Molly's disappearance. He was also known to fish in Coleman's Pond and hunt in the woods where Molly's body was found. In addition, Stanger closely matched the description provided by Maggie Bish of the man seen in the white sedan the day before Molly's disappearance. Stanger has not been charged in her case. In 2009, when Stanger was being investigated for Molly's murder, police also questioned him in connection with the 1993 murder of Holly Paranen, who went missing in Sturbridge. Molly and Holly were the same age in 1993, and Bish had written a letter of hope to Holly's parents in 1993. Stanger was not charged in this case. In 2012, forensic evidence led authorities to the name David Poliot, who died in 2003, as a person of interest in Holly's case. In November 2011, Gerald Battistoni, aka Confidential Informant Number 62 for the Eastern Hampton County Narcotic Task Force, was named as a suspect in Molly's death by Private Detective Dan Malley of Massachusetts. Battistoni served time in prison for repeatedly R-ing a teenage girl in the early 1990s. He attempted to take his own life in prison after newspaper articles identified him as a potential suspect in Molly and Holly's deaths. Battistoni, who had a criminal record dating back to 1980, had been in the area where Molly's body was found and resembles a composite sketch of the man Maggie saw in the parking lot on the day before Molly disappeared. After Gerald Battistoni was named as a suspect, Private Detective Dan Malley and the Bish family asked for DNA testing to be done. Massachusetts State Police sent the DNA evidence to Texas. Battistoni died at Lumel Shaddock Hospital in Jamaica Plain in November 2014. There have been no arrests in the case as of 2022, but Worcester County District Attorney Joseph Early announced a new person of interest on June 3, 2021, a registered SO who died in 2016. Francis P. Sumner Sr., a man with a more than 20-page criminal record, is being considered in the case. Sumner was found dead inside his Spencer home on May 4, 2016. Early did not say exactly how Sumner was connected to the case, but that investigators recently received new information that has led them to investigate him. On July 9, 1982, Sumner was convicted of aggravated armed kidnapping from an attack the prior October inside an apartment that Sumner was trying to let. He was sentenced to concurrent sentences of 15 to 18 years on the R charge and 9 to 10 years on the kidnapping charges. The earliest Sumner could have been released from Walpole State Prison was in 1997. It was not immediately clear how long Sumner was incarcerated for that case. Early said that Sumner was incarcerated several times during his life. In 2004, Maggie and John Bish found the Molly Bish Center and Foundation in collaboration with Anna Maria College.